You know, I have looked at the people he's putting together. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that, if I be honest with you, both of us are Yoruba men, that it's beginning to seem that our people are they're going to get the best of the cherries. And if you want me to tell you what, I can tell you the things we've gotten already and the things that are likely to get.
What are those?
Come on, man. We're in charge of customs. We're in charge of police. We're in charge of army. We're in charge of CBN. We're in charge of IRS. We're in charge of taxation. We're in charge of appropriation. Have we become such a people that we can only be fair when we're talking about other people? I am beginning to see a pattern that we're getting, all of the cream is coming to us. And what we will not accept from Buhari, who was even fairer to us than he was to his people, we must be brave enough to say this is not the right way to go even for us. We're not going to suddenly become a parochial people who insist that all of the things in the country, Yoruba people are the... Listen, Shehu, does it not prick your soul that you are putting 10 in one place, 9 in one place, 7 in one place, 5 in one place, and you're giving the Southeast Igbos 5? And I can tell you for free, Shehu, there is no mental capacity, validation, education, authentication that you are looking for in the world that you will not find with Indians, either in Nigeria or in the diaspora. Why would you now start telling me that you can get 10 from the Northwest, you can get 9 from the Southwest, and you are telling me that you can only get 5 from them? So these are the issues.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25, 2023, and in the controversial circumstances, as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was announced the winner of the election on March 1st, 2023. And that result is being challenged at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, from where it is going to get to the Supreme Court. And Nigerians are waiting for the court to tell them who actually won the election. While Nigerians wait for the courts, as when Bola Ahmed Tinubu is running the country, and he's running the country now until the Supreme Court either sustain his leadership or his place let another take. But as he's running the country now, he's exhibiting like the man you saw on the screen now. That's Shegun Sowomi. He's a PDP chieftain who talk about parochialism. That as what Bola Ahmed Tinubu was exhibiting the parochial mentality that has been associated with the Fulani domination of Nigeria, where he has chosen to give all the juicy position, as this man who's a man of conscience, Yoruba too, complain about. Now, the Yorubas are sophisticated people, highly educated, highly mobile, all over the world, within Nigeria. There is no field of human endeavor that you can't get highly qualified Yoruba man that can handle it. But in a society like Nigeria, where the Constitution talks about the federal character, where the Constitution talks about the need to avoid the domination of one ethnic group or one religion in the running of government, it is not enough to fill your people everywhere that is strategic, simply because they are all qualified. It doesn't work that way. That was why the Yorubas was at the forefront of fighting against the Fulani domination, or the so-called Fulani domination of Nigeria. The Yorubas were at the forefront right from the time of Bola Ige. I used to read Bola Ige's column in the Tribune, where he used to bash the domination of Fulanis in Nigeria. He called them the Tutsis of Nigeria. You can go and look at past column, Uncle Bola's column in Tribune, Nigerian Tribune. He was opposed to their domination of the country at the expense of other ethnic nationalities. That was actually one of the things that cost him the presidential ticket of the Alliance for Democracy. Because of that, his opposition, he has a lot of enemies in the north. So when the time came for the Alliance for Democracy to choose their presidential candidates in 2000 and in 1999, 1998, 1999, the Afenifere and many others who knew that he is the best material that could be presented for Nigeria in terms of capacity, intellectual capacity, and what have you. But they passed him over and chose Olufalaye because they felt that Olufalaye was more marketable, that the North will accept Olufalaye better than accepting Bola Ahmed. But Bola Ahmed was a man of his own words who uses his pen every week under his column, Uncle Bola Ahmed, where he dissects the problems of Nigeria. And he used to put it squarely that it rests in Fulani domination. And in those write-ups, he did emphasize the only thing that can stop the domination of Fulani is through federalism. Through federalism. He was an apostle of true federalism. And the whole of Southwest also believe in true federalism. And that support for true federalism was actually as a way to curtail the excesses of the Fulani domination. That is basically why they believe in it. Okay? And it was at the root of the Nadeko struggle. It was at the root of even Afenifere struggle. So you can therefore imagine the surprise of many Nigerians that what the Yorubas complained against the Fulani, Muhammadu Bola Ahmed Tinubu, within the period he is holding forth until the Supreme Court determine whether he will continue to be there, has shown all the signs of the Fulani domination. He is now replacing Yoruba's Fulani domination with Yoruba domination, which now begs the question, is the Yoruba the new Fulanis of Nigeria? But that will go against the grain of what the Yorubas stand for, because Yorubas are people that are highly educated, highly mobile, highly obeying, people that believe in justice, fairness, and equity. And it was because of that kind of belief that was why Afenifere rejected Muhammadu Bola Ahmed Tinubu and endorsed Peter Obi, because they know that for fairness, justice, and equity, that the president of the country in 2023 should come from the Southeast. Of course, Aswad was not the candidate of the Afenifere, the real Afenifere, led by Pade Banjo. But Tinubu, from his appointments, has shown clearly that he learned a lot from Buhari in terms of instituting his ethnic dominance. He learned a lot from him. Okay. Now, I want. If you look at your screen now, you see a very important article that was written by a Yoruba in 2001, which he titled Fulani Domination. Oduduwa Nation is Imperative by Dayo Oluwasami. Now, I'll go look at some excerpt of what he wrote. And I use this to tell you these are the feeling of the Yoruba, because he wrote this article and presented this as the feeling of the Yorubas towards the Fulani domination of Nigeria, which they oppose. Therefore, what Tinubu is doing ought not to have the support of the people of Southwest, because the golden rule, which the Yorubas understood very well, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. Okay? Now, he wrote an article in 2000. This guy wrote an article in 2021, published on Sahara Reporters. He titled it Fulani Domination. Oduduwa Nation is Imperative. I will just give some examples so that you see the thinking of this man, which he generalizes as the thinking of the Yorubas. Okay? He said, Fulani minority rule brought us bloodthirsty dictators like Sani Abacha, Ibrahim Babangida, and now the butcher of Aso Rock, Muhammadu Buhari. Few Yoruba politicians are profiteers of Fulani minority rule. Few Yoruba politicians who are profiteers of Fulani minority rule still believe in one Nigeria. These few elites, with the collaboration and cooperation of traitors among Yorubas, make Fulani domination easy and possible. Majority of Yoruba people are in a hurry to leave Nigeria for Oduduwa Nation. The Fulanis, with their political ingenuity, successfully managed to suppress the Hausas. It used to be Hausa Fulani many years ago, but after the Fulanis effectively neutralized the Hausas, the Fulanis permanently dominate them, and all you hear these days is Fulanis. There is no mention of Hausas. They have become invisible, more or less extinct. With the suppression of the Hausas beyond their widest dreams, the Fulani embarked on repeating the same political magic wand on Yoruba and the Igbos. Again, so far so good. To a large extent, they have established their dominance on Yoruba and Igbos, Yorubas and Igbos. The dominance is total. The Fulanis control anything controllable in Nigeria. I mean, anything you can think of in the Senate, the House, Executive, Judiciary, NNPC, and other federal agencies and corporations, name it. Yoruba now suffer from an excess of minority rule. For example, the House of Reps and the Senate are by design of the Fulani written 1999 Constitution as amended, a grotesquely unrepresentative body that amplifies the powers of minority Fulanis at the expense of majority Yorubas and Igbos, which is why Fulanis are so scared of a new constitution and other reforms that will automatically chip away their minority power, privileges, and domination. Now, you can go and Google it and read it in detail, but it is like a bird's eye view of the Yoruba thinking about domination. So the Yorubas don't like Fulani domination. Therefore, I'm shocked to see many Yorubas in the commentary boxes where this issue was brought up, supporting it, what Aswad has done, claiming that people of Southeast did not vote for Tinubu. Therefore, that is what he did was okay. They tried to justify it. But we know that in 1999, Southwest did not vote for PDP. But Southwest was not treated like that. Of course, Obasanjo was in the PDP, but the whole of Southwest never voted for him. In 1999, when Obasanjo contested, Yorubas were not treated like the Tinubu is supported to treat the Igbos, okay? They were not treated like that. Despite the fact that all the Yoruba states, none of them voted for PDP that had Olusegun Obasanjo as his candidate. In 2007, the whole of the Yoruba states, they rejected Yaradua. But that didn't mean that PDP and Yaradua were marginalized the Yorubas from getting their rightful positions in Nigeria. So people have to take note of all this. Okay? The Yoruba didn't vote for Yaradua. They voted for their for their own candidate. Okay? They voted for their own candidates and not for PDP that won the election. Okay, that's aside. Now, the Constitution is supposed to be the guide on what to do. Now, let us also look at the issue how another Yoruba leader perceived, this time a major leader in Nigeria, a national leader, one of the most patriotic leaders this country has ever produced. I'm talking about Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. In 2019, former President Olusegun Obasanjo had cause to raise alarm over Fulanization and the Islamization agenda under President Muhammadu Buhari. Obasanjo alleged a grand plot by certain elements to foist Fulani and the Islamic agenda on Nigeria. He said, it is no longer an issue of lack of education and lack of employment for our youths in Nigeria, which it began as. It is now West African Fulanization, African Islamization, and global organized crimes of human trafficking, money laundering, drug trafficking, gun trafficking, illegal mining, and regime change. At the time Obasanjo spoke, he spoke on the topic, mobilizing Nigeria's human and natural resources for national development and stability at the second session of the Synod of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion that was held at the Cathedral of St. Paul's Anglican Church, Ole, in the Isoko South local government area of Delta State. He stressed the need for President Muhammadu Buhari, who was president at the time, to take the issue seriously, rally local and global stakeholders to deal with the killer herdsmen and Boko Haram once and for all without favoritism or coddling. Now, this is Obasanjo talking about Fulanization. That is because it is not in the interest of the country to have any ethnic group, no matter that one of them is in power, to dominate at the expense of others. Here, Obasanjo was talking about the fact that because of this Fulanization agenda, that Buhari was treating the issue of Boko Haram and the Fulani herdsmen with kid glove. He was telling him to be serious about it. Treat it as a serious matter. Stop coddling them. Stop showing favoritism to them. Okay? Now, to also brought this point of Fulani domination, in July 2020, the Human Rights Writers Association, HOREWA, noted that President Muhammadu Buhari has continued to appoint Northerners in key positions, in key security positions, saying that this offends Section 14(3) of the 1999 Constitution on the federal character principle. Now, this organization, which is an NGO, said that the Hausa Fulani individuals have been in charge of security in the last 5 years. They dominated the entire internal security and law enforcement agencies. They pointed out that they dominated Nigerian Customs Service, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the Nigerian prisons, the Nigerian police, the EFCC, and what have you. The Fulani dominance. The Yorubas never liked it. They should not like it now that Aswaju is the president until the Supreme Court says otherwise. Because if they do, they will not have the mouth to complain if the Supreme Court sustains Aswaju. And one day he gets to the turn of another ethnic group, they will not have the mouth to talk. They should realize that the injustice for one is injustice for all. It has nothing to do with vote. There are many loyal APC members in Southeast. Nobody is asking Aswaju to appoint Labour Party members into his cabinet from Southeast. Nobody is begging him to appoint PDP members from Southeast into his cabinet or from any other part of the country. But like this PDP chieftain said, there is no position you can look for in this world that you do not have men of capacity, of excellence from Southeast. I'm not here to make a case for Tinubu to appoint anybody, but I just want to draw attention to the fact that has Aswadu Bola Ahmed Tinubu replaced Fulani domination with Yoruba domination? Are the Yorubas comfortable with this going forward? Because the Yorubas we know are people that fight for rule of law, fairness, justice, and equity. How long do they think that their domination will last? Is it sustainable? Is it in line with the golden rule, what they are doing? You can see the gentleman. He said, what the Yorubas cannot take, let them not dish it out to other people. That's what he said. And that is it. And that is the golden rule that has been taught, that was taught to the world by the greatest teacher of all, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The golden rule. Do unto others what you wish them to do unto you. The Yorubas, I don't think, are cut out for this kind of domination without conscience. Parochialism, like the man rightly described it. So those who are supporting it better talk to Aswadu Bola Ahmed Tinubu while he is still in charge, or if the Supreme Court will sustain him, whatever may be the case, that he should remember that power is transient. Power is transient. He should not take pride that he is following the footsteps of Buhari, that he has replaced Fulani domination with Yoruba domination. Yoruba people don't need that kind of, they can always do well, they can always compete. But I don't think that if they follow the path of the Fulanis, that they're going to get a country that will be for all. Because like Usman Danfodio said, a society can live with unbelief, but it cannot survive injustice. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, Google will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.